Well, for more, let's cross now to our Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta. Seema, you are in Rome. Lazio, the region that Rome lies in, has been designated an orange zone now. What exactly does that entail?
Well, yes. I mean, this is the first time since the government created this color zone system that Lazio has moved from a yellow zone to an orange zone. And what that essentially means is that you can move around freely within your town, but you can't leave the town without a valid reason, whether it's work or for emergency purposes or health reasons. Bars and restaurants are also completely shut, only open for takeaway and delivery. And bars have to stop serving altogether from 6 p.m. That's across the country. On top of that, no one is allowed to cross between one region and another, and that curfew still remains in place from 10 p.m. all the way to 5 a.m. across the country as well. Now, the reason that the government decided to change this after looking at the data there is that the health authorities have said that there is still a high risk of uncontrolled and unmanageable pandemic. And so they've made this decision to do this. Now, there's still a handful of regions now that are in the so-called yellow zone where there is a slightly less risk. And in that area now, they've also allowed museums to reopen. But as I said, it's only a few regions. The bulk of the country is in an orange state, with those three regions in the highest critical, most restrictions still in place. They've also introduced a so-called white zone, and that's where you have a situation of only 50 new cases in a day per 100,000 inhabitants. But at the moment, no area in Italy is a white zone. So really, the authorities are clamping down hard and making clear for those three regions, it still remains very tight restrictions.
So one of those three regions now designated a red zone is Lombardy. Lombardy regional authorities trying to reverse that decision.
Yes, very much so. I mean, the authorities have decided to put it under these color-coded zones, and particularly this red zone, because they look at a number of factors. They look at the infection rate in that area, as well as the level of pressure on the hospitals, as well as the intensive care units. And so the authorities are saying, look, we've made the decision to do that. But the governor of Lombardy region, frustrated with this decision, says that they don't share it and they want to appeal it. And the authorities, they are convinced that fresh data will be released in terms of the figures of infections and so on in the coming days. And they want a suspension of this red zone until those fresh figures are released. But the government is saying, look, we understand the economic pressure, particularly as Lombardy is a key economic engine for Italy, that northern region, and they've suffered a high cost and paid a high price as a result of those restrictions. But they're calling on the region to please respect the decisions that have been made, although all eyes will be on new data that is expected to come up in the coming days.
Seema Gupta in Rome, thank you very much.